But I think Firebat Hero will be happy that he survived with the casualties that he did. Also keep in mind that he wasn't mining for a lot of that time, so that's gotta hurt him. But I think Firebat Hero will be happy that he survived with the level of casualties that he did thus far. Stork now putting up that exploit, his national exploit, and Stork's Observer just crossing paths with that Wraith, and Stork now obviously has detected that Wraith and is going to be microing those dudes to try and counter that Wraith. And Firebat Hero, I don't think this dropship play is being very effective for him thus far, and I don't think it's going to be effective. He needs to macro up a lot more units. He has built that extra command center as well, so he's going to try and take that. But Stork with a lot of forces on the ground, Firebat Hero is going to find it difficult to defend. He might find himself in a little bit of trouble here. I'm not sure he needs to seize those tanks up because he's going to find himself in huge trouble. He does have 3 tanks. That should be enough to hold Dragoons. Firebat Hero doesn't have any, and Stork just trying to build a bunker there at the bottom of his ramp. That's going to give him a little bit of advanced warning of what's coming by Stork. But Stork doesn't have any Zealots, so that's going to give Firebat Hero a little bit of time. It looks like he's only researching his siege tech now, so definitely Firebat Hero in a lot of trouble. Stork not realizing that Stork must realize with that Observer that Firebat Hero doesn't have siege tech. Should try and push up that ramp. He's just slowing that expansion down for Firebat Hero. My stream just buffering for a second there. I'll give you guys a okay back now. And Stork dropping 2 Dragoons in Firebat Hero's hit Expo, and those 2 Dragoons are not going to be able to do a lot of damage in terms of hurting Firebat Hero's economy, and he's just going to be forced to lift those Dragoons up again. Firebat Hero with that dropship. And brilliant drop, brilliant by Stork, dropping those Dragoons off up at the top of the ramp as soon as the shuttle moved away, anticipating that Wraith from Firebat Hero. That Wraith got taken out, so Stork playing perfectly thus far, no mistakes from him. Firebat Hero showing a little bit of nerves, and you'd have to give the early advantage to Stork in this game thus far. You'd have to give him a little bit of advantage. He's now starting up that Stargate, so I hope he doesn't do what a lot of Protoss players do and try and make a switch to carrier this early in the game, because if he does that, I think he needs to keep the pressure on the ground. A lot of players make a switch to carrier and end up losing the game because of it. He hasn't built any Zealots, so Stork hasn't built any Zealots, so Firebat Hero is happy and is able to defend successfully and comfortably just by virtue of siege tanks alone. And had Stork been pumping more ground units, I think Firebat Hero would have had a tougher time defending this. But Firebat Hero has now 6 there. Stork is building a photon cannon in his main, I think. Oh, no, in his natural expo, sorry, and he's building more gateways. So it looks like he feels he has enough resources to build pump massive ground units as well as switch to carriers, and maybe that will be enough to overpower Firebat Hero. But Firebat Hero definitely, he did take a little bit of a hit to his economy. I don't know if that was enough of an advantage to give Stork the lead that he needs. He has got that armory up, and Stork is trying to push forward those Dragoons, getting taken out by those by those siege tanks, and Firebat Hero almost ready to push. He needs a couple of Goliaths before he can push out versus Stork. Stork has got his Dragoons positioned at the north, at the 12 o'clock position, though. He's got his Dragoons positioned for a pincer. If Firebat Hero moves out, Firebat Hero might find himself in huge trouble. It looks like Stork is going to go for another drop, but Firebat Hero this time does have a couple of turrets, and he has got that, I believe, engineering bay floating above to scout that shuttle, so that should allow him to defend successfessfully. And Stork going through the middle, actually not going for that expo, realizing that there are probably turret defenses, and he's going to try and actually drop right on top of that refinery. I don't know if he's got a Reaver in there. He has a Reaver as well as a Dragoon. Firebat Hero, oh my god, the Reaver Scarab goes off. I'm not sure, I don't think the Scarab went. The Scarab did not go off. The Scarab did not fire. Stork dropping the Reaver both times. The Scarab did not fire. Scarab fires on this occasion. The tank dies. So Firebat Hero has no defense, and he loses a lot of SCVs. Poor micro by Firebat Hero. Great positioning of the Reaver by Stork, and he's doing massive damage to Firebat Hero's economy here. He's giving himself a decisive advantage in this game, and you've got to say that Stork is pulling ahead and ahead. Brilliant micro by Stork. Great work, and he uses those Dragoons to push that engineering bay back. And Firebat Hero in trouble here. He's definitely in a lot of trouble. You would have to give Stork a decisive advantage, and those 3 SCVs have been sitting idle at the top of Firebat Hero's main, and he's just struggling to cope with this. And Stork has now got carriers coming out, and this time he's got a large ground force as well. He's not going to be in the position that he was in that game on Desperado, where he did go for fast carriers and it didn't pay off for him. This time he's not going for fast carriers. He does have a large ground force to supplement his carrier fleet, and Firebat Hero, I don't think he has the economy to be able to defend versus the ground forces as well as the carriers. He's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble. He hasn't produced any Goliaths yet. He hasn't scanned, so he doesn't know what Stork is doing. It looks like Firebat Hero feels he's ready to push out, but Stork has got a significant number of troops on the ground, and Firebat Hero needs to push out. He needs to build a few more vultures or a few Goliaths and push out and do some damage to Firebat Hero's ground troops earlier on, so that he's not overwhelmed when the carriers pop out. But Firebat Hero is going to now sneak in behind the main. Firebat Hero had those positions in 12 o'clock base, and Stork had those troops at the 12 o'clock base, and Firebat Hero forced to retreat. Firebat Hero forced to fight a troop front, not able to present a united front to Stork, and that's going to give him a little bit of trouble. And he's now coming back, and he's not trying to establish a defense here. Stork is going to do huge damage to his units here. Stork doing a great job with that pincer move of keeping Firebat Hero locked in his main and giving himself an advantage. And Firebat Hero has lost a lot of his. Reaver drop, brilliant Reaver drop. 2 of the tanks get taken down. Firebat Hero now only with 3 tanks defending, and that was brilliant play by Stork. He inflicted serious damage, serious casualties upon Firebat Hero's forces without taking any damage in return. My stream just broke for a second again there. We are at 13:38 now, and Firebat Hero tried to do a little bit of harass of Stork's economy. Thus far, Stork has done a great job of dropping and harassing and really using everything on Loki to his advantage. Brilliant play by Stork. You've got to say that Firebat Hero has made some poor decisions. The decision to go for dropships before raids was poor. Not having any defenses in place was poor. And now, Firebat Hero is massing raids to try and counter the carriers from Stork. I don't think that's going to be an effective strategy because Stork has got a lot of Dragoons still. Unless he can kill off a lot of those Dragoons, it's not going to be an effective strategy for Firebat Hero. Firebat Hero now, stuff of absolute desperation for him. And once again, Stork doing his great micro, keeping Firebat Hero pinned back in that base, completely not allowing him to go anywhere at all. And this definitely is an epic matchup, with Stork playing perfect Protoss versus Terran thus far in this game. And you've got to wonder what would have happened if Firebat Hero had played more standard in the first 2 games and made more of a match out of this. But I think it would be ironic if the match does go with Loki and Monty Hall to Protoss. And then I think definitely Firebat Hero would have a case to argue for some sort of imbalance affecting the result, the outcome of the match. And I think if Monty Hall had been out and we had maybe Python, or if rather than Loki twice, we had Python twice, we would have had a much more interesting and fair matchup between these 2 guys. But nevertheless, Firebat Hero has made a few mistakes, and you've got to give Stork credit for capitalizing on that and for playing a perfect game. And Stork really doing a great job. He's lost hardly any of his ground forces while inflicting significant casualties upon Firebat Hero.